Hey everybody, what's up? So recently, Woodlin37 asked the question of what's the point in physical video game collecting in 2024? And I know that I have talked about physical versus digital media in the past, but there's stuff that I hadn't thought about until I saw Carl's video. And I think one of the biggest things really is that with physical media, especially with games, yeah, you can get games a little bit cheaper with Game Pass. I kind of looked at a few games, and $3 or $4 difference really didn't mean much to me. And especially when you're an RPG player where it can take a long time to get through a game, do you really want to pay, what is it, 25 bucks a month for a subscription service? Or would you rather look for a game that's on sale and basically play it that way? And if I can get a game for, let's say, $20, $30, that's 2 to 3 months, depending on what service you get, for a game. So I'm going to basically want to get the used game. I have it in a collection, but not only that, but if, let's say, for example, that I have a game that somebody's interested in playing. I go, hey, you want to borrow my copy? Here you go. See if you like it. That way, lets them know, should I go in, have the service, get the game, or should I just ignore it? Or better yet, you can just let your friend borrow the game. With a digital media, unfortunately, you can't do that. So with collecting, that's really a big thing. I've seen a lot of people talking about, collecting retro games that are being delisted. And so they're going out buying these games that they are interested in playing that they can't, get through a service anymore. So they have it available, which is unfortunately is a sad thing. We're going to see more stores closing and less games becoming available. And as been pointed out, as these games become delisted and you can't download them, prices are going to get jacked up. Just another reason why to have a game available. Another thing that I was really thinking about in terms of the games is some games, let's say, for example, you might have to, you know, download the game, have to wait for everything to update. The problem with that is it's going to take a lot longer time than if you just go ahead, have the game available, you wait for it to update, there you go. I have downloaded a couple of games, and the amount of time that took for them to go through on my Xbox, I was bored. I was like, what am I going to do while I'm waiting this? Yeah, I can play my Switch, I can watch something on my computer. It took about one game, took about 2 hours. I'm trying to remember which one it was to download. And for me, I'm just like, that's too long. But I do buy stuff on Steam, which I admit, but my computer doesn't have a disk drive, and it's a little bit cheaper than buying discs because a couple of games that I wanted, come here, you. Um, I had the disc for. Unfortunately, one of the discs is gone, and the price of the game is the Leisure Suit Larry collection. It just keeps going up, and I just don't want to pay for it. So it was cheaper for me to go through Steam and buy the collection. There's one game in it I'm not interested in, but it's just the way that it is. Sorry for that. She likes to jump on the table that the laptop is sitting on. Um, so yeah, and some games, unfortunately, are coming out are going to be digital only, which does suck, but there's nothing we can do. The other part of it, unfortunately, is that a lot of games are not getting large release. They're becoming smaller and smaller, which only pushes for digital only. Uh, Warhammer 40K, don't do that, please. Um, Bolt Gun is a great example of it. As Asian Sleepy pointed out, when had a frick, sorry, had a copy when to pick up, they didn't have that many in the store. So you have to go through places like Amazon, stores like Walmart, Target, Best Buy. They're getting rid of their games. And The other thing that really annoys me is digital games are full price. Not only that, but if you go to a store and you buy a game card, you have to save the receipt because that code that you need to get the game for is on there. If you lose the card, I'm sorry, the receipt, I don't know what happens. I've not heard about that part, thankfully. And that's why I don't wouldn't recommend anybody getting something like that for someone as a gift. Because once you lose that receipt, it's hard to say what's going to happen. So, you can recommend getting a gift card or whatever for them to buy what they want. I admit that I have bought games on my Nintendo Switch, my Xbox, because they were cheaper than the physical copies and vice versa. But ultimately, though, especially with limited run games, those prices get jacked up. The Castlevania collection, for example, right now I think it's close to $100 for physical copy. There's other ones that I'm interested in, but I can't justify paying for them. I really can't. So I have no choice but to pay for digital. That's one of the biggest problems. Should we go into 2024 collecting physical games? Absolutely, if you want to. Because so many of those games, especially like on the Switch, while Carl pointed out, the systems aren't going to be there for 30 years where they're going to play discs, you still have something for the time being. Because the way I look at it is, in the future, those games are going to be delisted. And we don't know, how things are going to run. But right now, it's like I have 3 games coming in. I got this one for $10, all additional characters and skin packs. Not interested in the skin packs, but all additional characters I am. I heard there's some good ones on here. Um, Let me see the other one here. I got Assassin's Creed Origins. $20 is not a bad price for this. Amazon is about the same price. I have to check and see if I have the latest one. I'll be doing that at some point today or tomorrow so I can order it if I don't have it. I'm just I'm just not interested in digital. I prefer not only having my physical to hold, but also the fact that I just have to look at all sides of it because to me, not only is the cost something, but you don't have, like, I like the artwork on some of these. You don't have that when you have a digital game. I don't also like some games coming out with, okay, you can get a digital soundtrack, all this other stuff, digital art book. Like, why would I want that? Sure, you could probably, you can't download it to a computer or to, whatever. I'm sure you can't. Um, if there's a way, let me know. But ultimately, I think it's just also come down to the fact that so many people are just used to having that physical media available, whether it be art books, whether it be soundtracks, additional stuff that came with that game. There's still a lot of games that are coming out with collector's editions that have a lot of great stuff on them, but unfortunately, looks like some of those are limited as well. Once again, the price is going to get jacked up, so you have to get them while you can. I have a couple of games coming in that actually one of them does have that's a special edition that has something with it. I don't remember what. The other thing is some games that I've been buying, I haven't seen US based that I have to get them from overseas. Thankfully, I can play those on the Switch, but I don't even think I've seen one of them as download. I really don't. I'd have to double check. I might, if I can find it, I'll show it in the video just so you can see what it is. Because I can't remember. I should have gotten it out, right? But even, It's like with movies. I'm gonna bring this up for a reason because I've been on, if you've seen any of my past video, my last video, you can see that I'm on a movie kick. Someone asked me, why are you buying these when you can stream stuff? I said, because they're not available on streaming, I mean. And the other part of it is, we go back to services, what's going to happen, when Ubisoft starts up their service? Yeah, you can buy games afterwards, but why would you want to buy a subscription service? So if you think about, Ubisoft, the Game Pass, all that stuff, is it really worth it? Because we also have to pay for streaming services, if you were into movies or TV shows. So you have to figure out the price. And some people can't afford all of that. It's the truth, which is why some people go with used movies, used books, used video games. And it's just the unfortunate way things are. So I think we are going to have people going into 2024 that are going to be collecting retro stuff. They're going to be collecting new gen. I myself don't have plans on getting an Xbox X or a PlayStation 5 right now, as much as I would like to play the new Final Fantasy game. Getting a new console for one game, for me, that's not worth it. Yeah, there are some games for the X I would love to play, but once again, smaller batch runs, which means you have to download them. It's not something I want to do. I don't know. It's just my preference. And even like with books, there are books that are hard to find for digital download on Kindle or Nook. And some of them, unfortunately, the prices are higher than they should be. So you have to buy used in order to get a decent price. Um, no keyboard for you. So I don't know. But yeah, thank you for the topic, Carl. I appreciate it because ultimately, put things in perspective for me as to why I'm going to keep buying physical versus digital. And one thing is, I recommend playing Dredge if you can. Great game. I don't think there's anything else. Uh, actually, one other thing. When it comes to digital versus physical, with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, one of the things that we've seen is that if you buy digital version and you buy the standard game, you can't play New Game Plus. You have to buy a more expensive copy of the game in order to play it. And for some people, they may not want the additional content. They just may want to play the game only. And a lot of people like New Game Plus. So for them, that extra money may not be something they want to spend. For me, I don't like getting additional content unless I like the game. And then at that point, if I want to, I may get it. And some games only play the New Game Plus, so that may not, matter to me. That's just one of those things we have to look at. Off the keyboard. She has a tendency to walk across the keyboard and actually turn the videos off, so that's why I'm grabbing her instead of letting her walk on the keyboard. That's it, everybody. I'll talk to you later, and there will be a link to Carl's video below. Take care.